Welcome, guys. Today I'm going to tell you all a short story about how Technoblade pranked me from beyond the grave. So, about 3 years ago, Technoblade revealed to the world that his name was, in fact, Alex, and not Dave, and that he had been tricking his fanbase for years. Now, I think he tricked me a little bit harder than most other people, because this is my senior quote. If you couldn't tell, my high school senior quote is a Technoblade quote that I attributed to Dave Blade, thinking that his actual first name was Dave. To get into why exactly I thought his name was Dave, I'll tell you about how dedicated to this bit he was. Years ago, in some comment section of his, I saw someone mention that his first name was Dave. It was on the basis that his sister called him that in an old video, and it was part of a joke from another video where he was explaining why he hadn't uploaded in a while, and he jokingly mentioned that Pope Francis had renamed him from Dave to Kevin. So now I was very curious, and I decided to search Dave in Technoblade's sponsor Discord to see if anyone had mentioned his name before. I found this story that he told about ordering a sandwich from Subway that had Technoblade written on it instead of his own name, and in this story he directly implies that his name is Dave. That sold it for me. I figured, alright, that's his name, because it would be completely insane to subtly drop hints over the course of years to imply your name was something else entirely, right? Oh. Well, to explain why exactly I attributed it to Dave Blade instead of just Technoblade, at the time my school had a strict policy about senior quotes where they had to be an actual quote from someone. We had to submit a Google form that had the quote, the source, and the name of the person that said it. I think they got it because a year or two before, someone tried to sneak in something inappropriate, but you could only tell if you turned it upside down, so this was their way of preventing any encoded messages. I was worried that they wouldn't accept Technoblade as a name because I think they were asking for like the actual name of the person saying it. So I ended up putting Dave Blade, thinking that Dave was his actual first name. They probably would have accepted Technoblade, but I also just thought the idea of his last name being Blade was hilarious, so I just kind of went with it. Now, unfortunately, I never shared it with him or the sponsor Discord, ironically, because I wasn't sure if he wanted people to know his first name or not, since he never outright said his first name was Dave. There were only these small hints here or there that he let pass. I think that's also what tricked people for so long, since if he actually said his name was Dave, then that would prompt people to fact check it. If you're curious about the actual quote itself, it comes from the second Potato War video towards the end, where he's talking about people who were harassing Squid Kid for getting his popularity through luck. He responded to this by saying, most opportunities are created by luck. It takes skill to grasp those opportunities and turn it into success. I always thought this line was really good. Like, I'm sure other people have found clever ways to express the same sentiment before, but it's just such a nice way to say basically, yeah, a lot of stuff in life is luck-based, but if you work hard, you can tilt the scales in your favor. You may not be able to completely control every variable, but you can still help your own odds. That kind of sentiment has always resonated with me, so I decided to make it my senior quote, and I was completely unaware that I had just been pranked. So I guess the moral of the story is, don't trust people. Have a good day.